Good afternoon everyone and welcome to round one of the VB Challenge Cup here at a very sunny Helensburgh at Rex Jackson Oval. Not a cloud in the sky today for Saturday afternoon football. This is Johnny Pett calling the game for Bar TV as we see both sides coming onto the field. The home side, the Helensburgh Tigers, coached by Gav Lennon in season 2018. At fullback is the reigning Paul McGregor medalist in Wayne Bremner. Number 2, Jake Kingham. Number 3, Mutu Stanley. Number 4, Azan Thirroul. Number 5, Adam Newey. Number 6, Jordan Chong Sun. Number 7, Liam Christensen. Number 8, Chris Coleman. Number 9, Grant Smith. Number 10, Tim Davies. Number 11, Daniel Aruha. Number 12, Lachlan Peachy. Number 13, Hayden Warren. And on the bench for Helensburgh, number 15, Liam O'Toole. 16, Mitch Bailey. And 17, Hayden Ayres. And for the Thirroul Butchers, coached by Jarrah Costello. Number 1, Ty McCarthy. Number 2, Hayden Crosland. Number 3, Lee Higgins. Number 4, Callum Tatahu. Number 5, Daniel Perkins. Number 6, Corey Tullock. Number 7, Jake Walsh. Number 8, Luke Shields. Number 9, Joel Johnson. Number 10, Luke Dodge. Number 11, Michael Morris. The 12 is Tommy Simpson. Number 13, the veteran Aaron Beath. And on the bench for Thirroul, number 14, Riley Lord. 15, Joel Ruskin. Number 16, Mitch Lackerstein. The 17 is Jack Eager. 18, Riley Mills. 19 is Harrison Domio. And number 20 is Jai Richards. And we've had kick-off here, and Thirroul have kicked off to Helensburgh. We see Helensburgh bringing it out of their own area, approaching the 40-metre line. That was a hit up there by Tim Davies. There's Bremner out of dummy half, chewing up some easy metres. Thirroul are going to have to get up early on Bremner. It's a key to his game, popping in at dummy half and sussing out a few lazy markers. Very successful in 2017 in that was Wayne Bremner, resulting in him getting the Paul McGregor medal at this season presentation. As we see Ty McCarthy taking the kick, bringing it just over his 10-metre line, wrapped up by Davies. Daniel Perkins coming in off the wing, taking one on the left off the ruck. Perkins played a lot of football in the centres for Thirroul this year. Jarrah Costello has opted for him to play on the left wing, as we see the first penalty going to Thirroul. The Helensburgh Tigers a bit itchy there in defence, coming up early, trying to shut down the Thirroul attack. There's Jake Walsh finding touch right on the halfway line. There's Corey Tullock with the ball. Tullock out the back to Dodge. Dodge playing with the number 10 on. Last year played a lot off the bench, Luke Dodge, and played in the back row. But with the absence of Noble going overseas, has opened up a spot in the front row. Jack Noble and Julian Flago missing from the Thirroul side. It's opened up a very good dominant front row position. And there we go. Perkins down the left-hand wing. He's stepped around Bremner. Bremner's just pulled up Perkins short, inches from the try line. Thirroul set up across the paddock in attack. Tullock the Walsh underneath is Beath. Beath's wrapped up nearly centre of the paddock, 8 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Johnson in at dummy half. Johnson pleading for a penalty, and he gets the response that he wanted from the referee. And the referee awarding Thirroul their second penalty for the game. A quick tap from Johnson. Johnson on to Dodge on the left. Dodge is wrapped up 5 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Johnson to Tullock. Tullock on to Walsh. Walsh puts a short ball there on the chest of Tom Simpson. Sorry, that was the back rower in Morris. Morris is wrapped up. Thirroul, play to the left. Aaron Beath with the ball, trying to step around the Helensburgh defence, and Beath's wrapped up 6 metres out in front of the black dot. Johnson out of dummy half. Johnson to Walsh. Walsh out the back to McCarthy. McCarthy with a bit of a wayward pass there, finding Hayden Crosland. Crosland trying to step around the Helensburgh defence, but Crosland's wrapped up a few metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Johnson out to Walsh. Walsh with a grubber kick through into the in-goal line of Helensburgh. And the Helensburgh player in Daniel Arahu has wrapped that ball up, gone over the dead ball line. So Thirroul will receive the ball back from a dropout from Helensburgh. And a bit of early pressure there on the Helensburgh line from the Thirroul Butchers. And it's a solid dropout right over the 50-metre line, and Luke Shields is chasing it back, trying to get that ball, and he's got that ball. on his own 30, and the big crowd calling out go the Moose there. Bit of a cult figure hero at Thirroul Butchers is the Moose. Shields, quick play of the ball. Thirroul opting to go down the short side. Thirroul's wrapped up three of the Helensburgh players over the top. And just stepping off the mark, they're trying to get a few extra metres there was Higgins. Dodge with another hit up. Dodge has been very busy early in the first few sets for Thirroul. The Helensburgh defence coming up on Dodge. Here's Walsh going to the left, short ball to Beef. Beef's wrapped up there by Lachlan Peachy. Peachy, a very famous name in the rugby league circles, has come down and play with the Helensburgh Tigers for season 2018. Gav Lennon, the coach of the Berg this year, taking over from Ryan Powell. We're pleased with some of the players that have come down. As we see Thirroul just putting another cheeky kick behind the in-goal line. But it's well taken there and mopped up by the Helensburgh players. There's Bremner in at dummy half, trying to scoot out. The Thirroul boys up to the task of shutting down Bremner. There's Azan Thirroul making some metres out over the 20-metre line. And he's awarded the first penalty for Helensburgh. So a much-needed penalty for the Berg. They'll kick for touch and work their way out of their own area. There's a few changes from season 17 to 18 with both sides. Gav Lennon taking over the reins of Helensburgh from Ryan Powell, who had a lot of success with Helensburgh in the last few seasons. He's signed some very key players for season 2018, Gav Lennon. You see Helensburgh just approaching the halfway line. Good little right foot step there. In the halves for the Berg, we've got Liam Christensen. Christensen played with Collegians last season. He's made his way up to Helensburgh. And a solid shot there from Luke Shields on one of the Berg players has resulted in him getting up a little bit gingerly and making a mistake in the play the ball. So Thirroul, they'll have the feeder scrum just inside their own half. As we spoke about earlier, is the pre-season VB Challenge Cup. This game we played in 4 20-minute quarters, and I'm sure both sides around that 18, 19-minute mark in each quarter will be looking for a break. It's a very hot day here at Helensburgh, not a cloud in the sky. There's Higgins, just working it away from the scrum, just shy of the halfway line. Johnson in at dummy half. He's short onto Morris. Morris is met heavily by 3 of the Helensburgh defenders. He's gone over into Helensburgh territory. Thirroul left ship play. Walsh dummies on the inside. Picks up Tulloch. And Tulloch just a bit of a wayward pass there. Come up in the hands of Lachlan Peachy, but Peachy just couldn't get a full grip onto the ball, and he's made a mistake. And I'm sure if he got 2 hands onto that ball, he was away and under the posts. So a little bit unlucky there from Helensburgh. The idea was right there from Peachy. He read the play well, just couldn't get 2 hands onto the ball. And Thirroul with another scrum feed. Tulloch. Tulloch was the hero in 2017 for the Thirroul Butchers in reserve grade, kicking that memorable field goal. Resulted them winning the premiership and lifting that trophy at Wynn Stadium last year. And Tulloch with a big off-season has been rewarded by coach Jarrah Costello with a starting spot in this trial. So there's Heath Thirroul going the short side. Morris again on that right-hand fringe, just approaching 20 metres shy of the Helensburgh try line. They're set wide here, Thirroul out left. Walsh dummy onto Tulloch. Tulloch will go out the back to McCarthy. McCarthy with a face ball onto Perkins' chest. He'll throw it back inside Perkins to McCarthy. McCarthy, a little bit of dancing around the Helensburgh defence. He's been wrapped up 10 metres shy of the Helensburgh try line. Tulloch onto Dodge. Dodge put it under his wing, put his head down, looking for that try line, but he's wrapped up in the Helensburgh defence. It's a bit of a spill ball, and Dodge pleading for a penalty as if there was hands in the ruck, but the referee doesn't want a bar of that from Dodge, and Helensburgh have stopped the attack of Thirroul once again. Forced an error. So Helensburgh will feed the scrum 10 metres out from their own try line. Both teams are taking a little bit of extra moments there to pack this scrum. There's a Thirroul front row of both Shields and Dodge, replacing Flego and Noble this season. Big boots to fill for Thirroul, as they were so dominant in that forward, in through the forwards in season 2017. They had good rotation there. They had big Reece Kennedy coming off the bench. Reece has moved on into New South Wales Cup. See Helensburgh wrapped up 30 metres out. Good face ball there. Good hit there from Thirroul. There's Luke Shields and Johnson coming out of the line on big Tim Davies. There's Grant Smith just kicking out a dummy half. Smith, he'd be the veteran out there for Helensburgh. A very seasoned player in Grant Smith. A premiership winner here with Helensburgh. So Gav Lennon will be looking towards and leaning on Grant Smith this season to steer around this young side of Helensburgh. As we see both sides out there just walking over to the scrum. These water runners will be busy today, delivering a lot of H2O out to these players. They will be in need of a drink. The Illawarra League General Manager Chris Bannerman into me there for using the term H2O. Didn't think I attended chemistry, Bannerman. I see Thirroul brought up on the 40-metre line, working it out. There's Aaron Beath. A very familiar name in the program for the last, I'm not sure how many years for Thirroul. 20, 30, 40. I'm not too sure, but he's been there a long time, Aaron Beath. Johnson in at dummy half onto Dodge. Dodge just looking to tip it on there to his front row partner in Luke Shields, but opting to go himself. Last tackle for Thirroul. Johnson going the short to Tulloch. Tulloch will go to the air, put a bit of pressure on the back Helensburgh players. They've coughed it up. McCarthy swooped it up. But in the resulting in that, it looks like the referee has called a knock-on to Thirroul. So Helensburgh will get the feed of the scrum. They will play the ball, 10 metres out from their try line. As we see a few of the bench players for both sides starting to warm up. Both coaches will be looking to use their rotation. So you've got 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Still 0-0. Helensburgh working it out of their own area. Helensburgh missing out on semi-final football last year. They will be looking to go that one place better next year and try and snag a semi-final spot. I'm sure that's on the radar for Coach Gav Lennon. Would have been spoken about in pre-season football as a goal for the Berg in that pointy end of the season, as we see Helensburgh awarded a penalty. They've found touch, 40 metres out from the Thirroul try line. So the Berg into Thirroul's territory. They'll be looking to put some pressure on the Thirroul defence. Bit of confusion there by both players from Helensburgh. Just not sure who was getting the ball. Smith in at dummy half. On to Davies. Davies a tip on and well read from the Thirroul defence. They read the tip on there from Davies. Luke Shields up in defence. Smith. And a bit of sloppy ball work there for Helensburgh, with Jordan Chong Sung just not finding the chest of Mutu Stanley. Stanley, another one of those players, come down for season 2018 with Helensburgh. There's been a big rap on Stanley in the pre-season. I'd like to see him get in a bit of space today, running off the likes of Christensen. Just put him in a bit of open space and show the Illawarra competition what he is capable of. Johnson onto Tom Simpson. Tommy Simpson had a huge year last year, resulting in some great games towards that tail end of the season. Also gaining a premiership in reserve grade. Thirroul just working up the short side. Tatahu pleading for a penalty there at dummy half, and that plea from the referee has been heard, and Thirroul will gain another penalty That's the third cheap penalty that Helensburgh given away for having the hands on the ball in the ruck. I'm sure it's something that Gav Lennon will speak about in the next break, at the quarter time break we will have in just under 6 minutes. There's Riley Lord onto the field. Another one of those premiership players from last year's reserve grade side, been rewarded by Coach Costello for a big off-season. And I've just given him the commentator's curse and talked him clean up, and he's just fumbled the ball there in trying to get to his feet and play the ball. So a few mistakes from both sides in this first quarter. I'm sure both Gav Lennon and Jared Costello will bring that up at quarter time. Both teams just need to get to their kick and get their completion rates up. Helensburgh just working it up over the 40-metre line. 3 players in the defence there from Thirroul. Middle of the paddock, Smith at dummy half. Tim Davies, another tip on there. And a penalty to Helensburgh for a high shot there from the Thirroul Butchers. So the Berg kick for touch, try and get some good metres off this kick, just over the 40-metre line. I'm sure the message is out there from Gav Lennon, just complete this set, get to your kick, and let's put some pressure on the Thirroul defence. There's Davies with another hit up. No tip on there this time from Davies. Just under his wing and straight up the guts, that hit up. Smith at dummy half. Chong Sung underneath. To Hayden Warren. Warren met strongly in defence. Just over 30 metres out from the Thirroul try line. Out the black plate. And sloppy hands there from the 12 in Lachlan Peachy. So Peachy hasn't had much luck here in his debut game for the Helensburgh Tigers. That's Tahu making good metres out of dummy half on the short side. Perkins in at dummy half looking for another scoot. And good metres, cheap 10 metres there from Perkins out of dummy half. He had a great season, Daniel Perkins, last year, playing in the centres for the Thirroul Butchers. There's Lord out to Walsh. Walsh onto Morris. Morris, bit of a dummy there. The old school runaround was on the cards there, but Morris has opted to go himself. Thirroul continue to pepper that short side to Walsh. Walsh out the back to McCarthy. McCarthy a little bit of step and jink at the line, but he's wrapped up. Had an unmarked Hayden Crosland outside of him. And McCarthy trying to sneak a few metres there. Has been pulled up by the referee. Walsh, flat ball onto Dodge. Dodge shrugs off the first defender. He's finally wrapped up by 2 of the Helensburgh players on the last tackle. Thirroul options each side of the ruck. Onto Tulloch to the left. Tulloch with a cross kick, looking for Perkins. Perkins dives and couldn't take the kick from Tulloch and has knocked on the ball in the in-goal line from Helensburgh. So Helensburgh let off again. And they'll bring it out for a 20-metre tap. That last play executions cost Thirroul a few times in this first quarter. Kazan Thirroul taking that tap. He's met strongly in defence from Thirroul. Short side. Helensburgh just working over the 30-metre line. Berg go to the open. Bremner brings one of his back rowers underneath him. So Berg, they'll be looking to look to the likes of Bremner and Smith just to steer this team round the paddock. Both very, very capable footballers and had a very distinguished career in the Illawarra League. .40 metres out. Haven't really gone anywhere the last 2 plays, Helensburgh. There's Smith, little cross kick looking for Bremner. Bremner chasing hard and well read there by Ty McCarthy. McCarthy's got Crosland on his inside. A good draw and pass there from McCarthy and Crosland. It's a good combination. Crosland played a bit of fullback last year in the absence of McCarthy. As we see, Helensburgh giving away a penalty. Just a bit of a drop elbow there on Crosland. And Johnson with a good clearing kick has found touch just shy of the halfway line. Another new halves pairing Coach Costello has put to the paddock today in Walsh and Tulloch. They had a few combinations last season on and off Thirroul Butchers, and I'm sure Coach Costello will be looking to cement 2 players to really cement that 6 and 7 numbers for season 2018. And Tulloch and Walsh have been given the first job of trying to impress Coach Costello. Tulloch out to Walsh, Walsh on to McCarthy. McCarthy will go himself, steps around, he'll look for Crosland. Crosland down the right-hand wing, Crosland crosses over. And a great back line move from the Thirroul Butchers, resulting Hayden Crosland going over in the right-hand corner of Rex Jackson Oval to open the scoring in the VB Challenge Cup, round 1. 4-0 to the Thirroul Butchers as we see the seconds tick away in this first quarter. And Thirroul, they've been peppering the Helensburgh line for the first 20 minutes of this game, and finally be able to crack the defence, and a good little play there from the 2 halves combining in Tulloch and Walsh out to the veteran Ty McCarthy and on to an unmarked Hayden Crosland. I'm sure Gav Lennon would have been just hoping that that clock was ticking down that last minute. You could see that play out to the right happening, and the Helensburgh players just couldn't mark up on the Thirroul back line. It looks like Corey Tulloch attempting to convert the Crosland try. He steps in and it's just waved away across the front of the uprights there. So at quarter time in round 1 of the VB Challenge Cup, Thirroul lead Helensburgh 4 points to 0, and we'll be back for the second quarter of this game at Rex Jackson Oval. Welcome back to the second quarter of the VB Challenge Cup from Rex Jackson Oval between the Helensburgh Tigers and the Thirroul Butchers. Helensburgh kicking off to Thirroul. Thirroul leading 4 points to 0, courtesy of a try to young Hayden Crosland in the corner. So we see the referee about to blow time on, and a much needed break for both sides, taking in plenty of water. There's Corey Tulloch taking the ball from the kickoff onto Luke Dodge. Dodge not giving a rest in this second quarter from Coach Costello. His front row partner Luke Shields earned himself a break as we see Riley Lord taking a hit up, met strongly in defence there, led by Grant Smith. Cheap yards out of dummy half from Joel Johnson, one of the most dangerous dummy halves in this competition, Joel Johnson. He can sniff out a lazy marker all day on the field. Tulloch on the short side to Tahu. Tahu draw and pass on to Perkins. Perkins down left-hand side. Bremner to beat. Inside to Johnson. Johnson couldn't take the ball from Perkins on the inside. So Helensburgh let off the leash early here. Thirroul, good attacking play there on that short side, but just couldn't get that last execution pass completed. So Helensburgh bring it out of their own area. 30 metres out, wrapped up, and could have quite easily been another Thirroul try early in this first quarter. Helensburgh continue to pepper that left-hand side, the right-hand defence of Thirroul. Again under pressure here. So Thirroul making the tackle there on the Helensburgh winger. Tim Davies wrapped that ball under his wing and just gone forward there, wrapped up by Jai Richards. Richards on the field for this second quarter. And a good kick there from the Helensburgh number 7. Looks like it's going to sit up. McCarthy flirting with the dead ball line. We do know Ty McCarthy does like a punt. It was tipping on that one to go to the dead ball line. But he's had to pick it up there onto his winger Hayden Crosland. And Hayden Crosland's been wrapped up in the try line by a great kick chase there from Helensburgh. That'll give the Berg players a bit of confidence there. It was a good kick chase. The kick from Chong Sung Just sitting up there, and McCarthy, he was hoping that one would go over the dead ball line. I don't think McCarthy will be gambling on another Chong Sung kick to go over the dead ball line. And Coach Costello just with a death stare there to tie McCarthy by the looks of it. Tulloch take the drop out. Not the best drop out from Tulloch. Chong Sung onto Davies, and Davies with a very strong return carry of that ball. He's wrapped up 25 metres out from the Thirroul try line, centre of the paddock. There's Smith out the back. There's Peachy. Peachy was going to fumble that ball again, and on a second grab caught that. Bremner out of dummy half. Lazy markers there from Thirroul. Bremner a little left foot jink at the line. Wrapped up 4 metres out by Riley Lord. And it looks like Bremner's pulled up a little bit gingerly here. Riley Lord put his hand up in concern. And Bremner just clutching at that left-hand shoulder. And what a loss that would be for the Helensburgh Tigers, the reigning Paul McGregor medalist. Chong Sung. Short ball there to his back rower. Thirroul, defence up quickly. 3 in the tackle there, led by Walsh. Smith at dummy half. There's the 15 O'Toole, just pulled up short, inches from the try line. Last tackle. Smith at dummy half. Chong Sung with a grab onto the foot and picked up beautifully there by Hayden Crosland. Crosland just bringing it out of his own area. Wrapped up just shy of the 10 metre line. Sorry, that was Ty McCarthy. Higgins with the ball. Richards in at dummy half. Richards, another one of those reserve grade players from season 2017. Lifting that trophy up at Wynn Stadium last year. Been rewarded by Coach Costello with a go in first grade. Tatahu on the left, Walsh. Walsh to Morris. Morris is wrapped up there by Thirroul. So Morris looking to play the ball quickly. Richards in at dummy half, onto Walsh. Walsh has gone to the air, looking to put pressure on the Helensburgh winger, and the winger's dropped it. And so look, he didn't look too confident under that high ball, the Helensburgh winger, as we see Tulloch with the ball. Tulloch onto McCarthy. McCarthy onto Tommy Simpson, and Tommy Simpson scores in the corner. And Simpson opens his account in season 2018. As we mentioned earlier, Tommy Simpson had a huge end of the season in 2017, playing a bit of first grade football, and also was part of that reserve grade premiership winning side. And a good kick there from Corey Tulloch. Bit of a swirling breeze here now at Rex Jackson Oval. And the Helensburgh winger just couldn't take that kick. He didn't look too confident underneath the high ball, and the pressure from the Thirroul chasers resulting in a fumble. And Thirroul just taking full advantage of that, and a great little shift on that short side. Ty McCarthy onto Tommy Simpson, and Simpson scoring over in the left-hand corner. 8-0 Thirroul over Helensburgh. Still 14.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. As we see Corey Tulloch lining this kick up. Similar position, just opposite sides of the field from the last try. Tulloch will have to take into account this breeze that's puffed up here at Helensburgh. The town of many seasons, Helensburgh. Sunny 1 minute, raining the next, windy the next. It's just waved away across the uprights. So the score will remain 8 points to 0. Thirroul over Helensburgh. Helensburgh just walking back slowly to this kickoff. Due to the kicking team not being out there. As we see Coach Gav Lennon just walking away from the reserve bench, just having a think about what this Helensburgh team do need to do to stop the Thirroul attack. As we see Zan Thirroul kicking off. Luke Dodge picking that in his own try line, and Dodge with a strong carry back bumps off the first defender. Dodge still trying to pump those legs. Over the 20-metre line, he's wrapped up. Thirroul in at dummy half. Looking to beat the defence of Peachy and also Rahu. Tulloch onto Riley Lord. Lord just a little jink at the line. He's pulled up just 40 metres outside his try line. Richards onto Walsh. Walsh to Morris. Morris just looking for a bit of support there from a fellow Thirroul player. Couldn't find one, so he's gone himself over into Helensburgh territory. Richards in at dummy half. There's the veteran taking another hit up. Aaron Beath wearing the familiar number 13 on his back. He's wrapped up over the top by Tim Davies. Grant Smith also around the legs. He'll play the ball. Richards to the short side onto Walsh. Walsh will find the boot. Good kick chase here from Thirroul, but Bremner's read that beautifully and he's picked up that ball nice and cleanly. And he'll be wrapped up just 15 metres from his own try line. As we see the Berg trying to work out of their own area through their winger, Adam Newey. Newey's wrapped up 20 metres out. Smith in at dummy half. They'll go to the right, the Berg. And the Berg just is trying to sniff out there Tom Simpson, who was offside and just coughed up the ball there, the Helensburgh attack. And the Thirroul players just got a bit of a high tackle there from the Helensburgh defence. It's Corey Tulloch. You see Richards with the tap. They'll get a fresh set of 6 tackles 25 metres out from the Thirroul try line. Riley Lord with another hit up. He's been quite busy since coming onto the paddock. Lord. Richards at dummy half. Out the back to Walsh. Walsh will go out the back to McCarthy. McCarthy inside ball to his number 3 in Lee Higgins. And Higgins with a flick pass out the back looking for Morris, but Morris has just spilt that ball. And it actually looks like there's been a Helensburgh hand just before the Morris could pick up that flick pass from Higgins. So Thirroul, a little bit of luck there. They'll feed the scrum 10 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. So we see the call out from the Helensburgh bench. Hold out for 1 set of 6. I'm sure a few heads would drop in the Helensburgh side if a try did come out of this set of 6. Well up on Thirroul was Peachy. Peachy shutting down the very dangerous centre for Thirroul. Riley Lord, another hit up, looking to cross the stripe. Just brought up 2 metres shy of the try line, underneath the black dot. Richards, he's got options both sides. He'll go the short. Tulloch out the back to McCarthy. Bit of a wayward pass. Perkins has picked the ball up. Speed to burn Perkins. He'll throw it infield to Walsh. Walsh's dummy to Morris underneath him. He's got Higgins. He's picked up Higgins. Higgins looking left, looking right, stepping around, trying to find a gap in the Helensburgh defence. He's wrapped up 12 metres out from the try line. Richards, Morris onto Beath underneath. Back to Higgins. Higgins is wrapped up 4 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. So Thirroul with a big back line set up here. Walsh to Tulloch. Tulloch just steps at the line, shrugs off 1, shrugs off 2, trying to get the arm free, but he's wrapped up by Peachy round the legs. Last tackle, 4 metres out. Thirroul looking to the short side. McCarthy onto Simpson. Simpson looking to barge over. But great defence there from the Helensburgh players, led there by Peachy. Just shutting down Simpson. Simpson dangerous that close to the line. It was a good team tackle there from the Helensburgh players, shutting down Tom Simpson. There'll be Peachy there, working it out from dummy half. Peachy will play the ball. Smith at dummy half. There's Azan Thirroul taking that ball out. Met strongly in by Riley Lord, but he's been bumped off. Morris and Beef in defence. Helensburgh looking to shift wide there through Chong Sung. Smith on the short side again. Chong Sung just through the dummy. He's been wrapped up by Morris. Smith in at dummy half. Nice little tip on there from the Helensburgh front rower. Last tackle. So Thirroul, they'll be looking to put pressure on the Helensburgh kicker. And they're up very fast. It's a bit of a wayward kick, and with this wind, it's gone over the sideline on the full. So Thirroul will gain some great field position here. 30 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Helensburgh will be looking to really D up here and shut down the Thirroul attack. They came together well in that last set of 6 that Thirroul applied plenty of pressure. So we see Dodge about to play the ball, centre of the paddock. Richards in at dummy half. Looks like Joel Ruskin's onto the field for the Thirroul Butchers. Prior to the game, Rusco wanted to shout out to those pair of boots that he's got. He said, "You won't miss me today." And those bright boots, I think they're pink or orange. There's Richards out of dummy half, show and go. On to Beef. Beef looking to cross the stripe. A good ball and all tackle there from the Helensburgh defence. Beef's wrapped up. Richards in at dummy half. Play to the right, Walsh. Walsh on to Morris. Morris turns out the back onto McCarthy. McCarthy shrugs the first Helensburgh defence off, but he's met strongly and put on his back there in the second attempt. Walsh on to Ruskin. Ruskin with a strong carry, but he's met very, very toughly there from the Helensburgh defence. 3 in that tackle up on Ruskin. Richards in at dummy half. Richards dangerous from there. He's gone over and he's dived over. It looks like he has been held up. So Richards very dangerous from close around that try line. He proved in 2017 he was very dangerous in reserve grade, scooting out of dummy half and making great metres. And he's just seen that lazy defence in front of him and gone himself. But a great cover tackle from the Helensburgh players has held up Richards. We go Tulloch. Tulloch onto the boot. And it's just gone into the arms of the Helensburgh players. Here's Azan Thirroul working it out of his own area. So 6.5 minutes left here at Rex Jackson Oval in round 1 of the VB Challenge Cup. 8-0 to Thirroul. As we see Bremner met strongly. Sorry, that was Jake Kingham there. Morris and also Ruskin up on the Helensburgh defence. There's Smith out of dummy half, just trying to earn his team a few metres with a kick, and Perkins is just going to let that go over, and it could be a 40-20 there, but just wait for the call. And it is, it's a 40-20, a great kick there by Grant Smith. We spoke earlier about Smith and also Brem, the likes of them, to steer this Helensburgh side round the paddock. And Smith just showing all his class there with a good kick out of dummy half, earning his team another set of 6. Within 20 metres of the Thirroul try lines, we see Helensburgh wrapped up 10 metres shy of the try line. Smith onto Ayres. Ayres out the back. Bit of hot potato football there from Helensburgh. There's Chong Sung wrapped up. So Smith with options each side of the ruck. He's going to go himself here and look for a hole in the Thirroul defence. He's just been pulled up 2 metres short of the try line, Smith. Very dangerous out of that area. Bit of show and go there by Liam O'Toole. And O'Toole's held up, or he's just pulled up short of the try line. So he's just been pulled up short, O'Toole. Smith on to Chong Sung through a dummy, but Morris wasn't falling for that dummy. So Chong Sung met strongly there from Morris. Last tackle. And a crossfield kick. And it's just gone into the Thirroul try line area. It's just gone over the sideline. So Thirroul will bring the ball back at a 20-metre restart. Nice things to like there from the Helensburgh attack. Just couldn't get that last bit of execution there. So Helensburgh, they'll be looking to really D up here on the Thirroul attack and keep Thirroul in their own area. So we see Perkins with a good carry first up. 10 metres there from Perkins on to 30 metres. Johnson on to Higgins. Higgins a little bit of a step at the line. Helensburgh defence up onto Higgins. Richards in at dummy half. There's Joel Ruskin taking hit up on that left-hand fringe. Ruskin into Helensburgh territory. Richards, short ball there. Onto Beef, and I think forward pass there. So the veterans overrun that ball from Richards. I'm sure Jai Richards, if he had his time over again, would have gone out the back. But with a 300 gamer and Aaron Beef calling for the ball and one of the youngsters coming through grade, you sort of give the ball there to Aaron Beef. Helensburgh feed the scrum 40 metres out from our try, and it's been a one against the feed. It's not much that we see that in modern day rugby league. And Tommy Simpson just fumbling the ball there. So Thirroul just fumbling the ball. They got given a bit of luck there from that scrum, winning against the feed. And Tommy Simpson just couldn't take advantage of that and come up with a mistake. As we see the scrum getting packed. 2.5 minutes left here in this second quarter. Rex Jackson Oval. 8-0 to the visiting side, Thirroul. There's Peachy taken out, but the referee's called it back. So we see that wind starting to pick up a little bit more here at Rex Jackson Oval. Good crowd in for both sides. A lot of blue and white supporters have made the trip up along the coast road, and the Helensburgh faithful looks like they're jam-packed in at the southern end of the field upstairs in the bar. I'm sure the cans will be flowing up there today. Dummy from Smith out of dummy half, looking to pick up some cheap metres. There's Davies taking a very strong hit up, met there by Richards. And also the 16, Mitch Lackerstein's onto the field for Thirroul. So last tackle, Smith, will he kick out a dummy half again? He's gone to the other option, he's gone to the air. McCarthy under a bit of pressure. The Helensburgh faithful yelling out the cheers of drop it from the bar, but McCarthy up to the task and taking that ball. So we see it just under a minute, over a minute left in this second quarter, and a lazy penalty there from the Helensburgh team, just wrapping up Ty McCarthy. So Walsh will kick for touch. He'll gain a cheap 20 metres there from the kick. So with the clock winding down with under a minute left in this second quarter, I'm sure the call from the Helensburgh bench would be one set, let's hold them out. Richards in at dummy half, Walsh screaming for the ball. He's got it, dummies to beef underneath, out the back to Tulloch. Tulloch onto Tatahu, he'll put it onto Perkins' chest. Perkins with not much room to move down that left-hand flank is wrapped up. Tahu into dummy half, he'll take a scoot out, bit of a jink at the line. He's not fooling Peachy, Peachy's up on him, but gets the ball out onto Richards. Richards onto Lackenstein. Lackenstein just trying to shrug past the Helensburgh defence. He's brought up 15 metres shy. Thirroul have gone right onto Walsh. Walsh back on the inside to McCarthy. McCarthy onto Richards. Richards trying to duck underneath the arm of the Helensburgh defence. Wrapped up short. McCarthy to dummy half. Tulloch on the chest to Simpson, but Simpson ducked it. Perkins tried to regather that ball, but couldn't pick up the pass. And the hooter has gone off here in the second quarter at Rex Jackson Oval between Helensburgh and Thirroul. So at half-time, Thirroul lead Helensburgh 8 points to 0. We'll be back for the second half in just a few moments.
All right, mate. All right. Watch this quarter, then I might get off.
Welcome back to the second half, or the third quarter in this VB Challenge Cup between the Thirroul Butchers and the Helensburgh Tigers. The home side Helensburgh Tigers getting beat here by the visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, 8 points to 0, as we see the kickoff deep into the Helensburgh territory, picked up by John Sungu, just inches from the sideline in that take. A little bit of ballet dancing there from the Helensburgh number 6. We see a massive shot there by the 16 from Thirroul, Lackenstein. He stamped his authority early in this third quarter there with a great shot on the Helensburgh player. Bremner in at dummy half. Shrugs off Ruskin. Bremner dangerous out of that dummy half roll. Always there looking to get some cheap metres. He's over the 30-metre line. Berg going to the short side, onto Peachy, and Peachy again coming up with the fumble. So he's had a bit of an up and down game here, Lachlan Peachy for Helensburgh. He's been solid in defence a few times. He's looked very dangerous in attack, but he has dropped the ball a couple of times, I'm sure. It's something that Coach Gav Lennon will be looking for him to take out of his game in season 2018. He's been brought to the Tigers as one of their key signings this season. As Thirroul, they'll feed the scrum 40 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Tatahu. I'd like to see Tatahu in a bit of open space. Speaking with a couple of Thirroul players earlier on before this game, they've got big raps on this centre. And to him to push a player like Perkins onto the wing. And there's Ruskin into some open space. Ruskin looking to beat Bremner, and Bremner tackles Ruskin round the legs, who Ruskin fumbles the ball, and he will be absolutely filthy, Joel Ruskin, coughing that ball up. I'm sure it's been a long time since Joel Ruskin has seen some open space. Helensburgh working it out of their own area. So Thirroul holding down the Helensburgh player in the ruck. Chong Sung going to the short side. And a cough up there by Davies. Just took his eye off the ball there for a fraction of a second as he seen the Thirroul defence coming up very quickly. So another mistake from Helensburgh early in this third quarter. I'm sure Coach Gav Lennon, half-time spiel to his Helensburgh players would have been just complete the set, hold this ball, get to the kick and turn this Thirroul side around. Thirroul will feed this scrum on the halfway line. So it's their second scrum feed in a matter of 3 minutes. A bit of a wayward pass there from Walsh onto Higgins. Higgins, he'll find his centre pairing at Tatahu. Tatahu's brought down from Peachy. So a good match-up over there on the opposite side of the field to us. And Peachy, good defence there, shutting down Tatahu. And Tatahu just trying to get up and play that ball, has knocked the ball on. And the Peachy faithful here just to the left of us on the old scoreboard. Cheering in that defensive shot there from Peachy. Helensburgh, here's Peachy with the ball. Big solid frame there, Peachy. I'm sure he's going to cause a bit of destruction this year for the Helensburgh Tigers. There's Mutu Stanley. Higgins round the legs of Stanley. Chong Sun onto his lock forward. In Hayden Warren. Warren's wrapped up there. Trying to get over the halfway line. Chong Sung in at dummy half. Onto Davies. Davies out the back. A bit of a wayward pass. Peachy's come up with the ball. He'll shrug off Perkins with a big left-hand fend there. Lachlan Peachy getting that left-hand fend onto the Thirroul defence. Trying to shrug off Perkins, but Perkins up to the task. Liam O'Toole with a solid run. Met there by his opposite number 15 number in Ruskin. Chong Sung to the air on the last. And well taken there by the number 4 for Thirroul, Tatahu. Hayden Crosland in at dummy half. Onto his wing partner in Perkins. And Thirroul, they used that option last season very well with their wingers coming in and making good metres out of dummy half. I'm sure that they'll miss the likes of Sakopi Meki from season 2017, who came in and took a lot of pressure off his forwards. There's big Luke Shields taking a hit up. Sorry, that's Aaron Beef. So Moose, I'm sorry about that. I know you'll be watching the replay of this game very closely on Bar TV. I'm sorry I've mistaken you for the veteran Aaron Beef. There's about a 20-year age gap there. As we see Thirroul making a mistake there. Both sides just slow to pack this scrum. Getting some fresh air in the lungs. As we've mentioned, very hot day here at Helensburgh. We see Bremner from the scrum. A little bit of a dance at the line. Bremner up to play the ball on the 40-metre line. There's Stanley. The plea from the Helensburgh faithful there, get on side, and it's been heard by the referee. Helensburgh earning a penalty, so they'll kick for touch on the halfway line. They'll gain some valuable field position here. As we see the winger bring in the Jongsung. So a fresh set of 6 tackles, 30 metres out from the Thirroul line. They're in good field position here. Tim Davies, another tip on. Out the back, show and go there from the Helensburgh second rower. He's brought up 15 metres out from the Thirroul try line. There's Davies again. Davies dummies this time and goes himself. He's been super busy, Davies, with that number 10 on his back today. Jongsung onto the 4, drops it onto his foot. McCarthy mops that up well in the in-goal line, and he'll just take that over the dead ball line. So good ball movement there from Helensburgh. A nice little deft kick there from the Helensburgh centre. Thirroul just taking their time here. Ty McCarthy bringing the ball back for a dropout. Ty's put his hand up to do it himself. This could go anywhere. And it's a solid kick there from Ty. 45 on the fly. Jongsung onto Davies. Davies with a solid run. Met strongly there by Morris. Helensburgh work to the right. Jongsung onto the 17, Hayden Ayres. Ayres is wrapped up. 30 metres out, nearly centre of the paddock. There's Warren out of dummy half. He'll throw the dummy, go himself. Jongsung on the right. Back inside to Bremner. Bremner dangerous. Looking around onto Jongsung. Jongsung trying to step round the Thirroul defence. Looks like Higgins there. So Higgins has brought Jongsung down 5 metres out from the Thirroul try line. Short side play on to Bremner. Bremner dummies, goes himself and tries to flick it back inside and find an orange jumper, but the pass has just gone forward. And Thirroul let off the hook. So Helensburgh showing a little bit more flair in this third quarter, putting a little bit more pressure on the Thirroul defence. They're probably not too far away from a 4-pointer, Helensburgh. They're starting to pepper the Thirroul defence. A lot of new combinations out there on the paddock for both sides. Halfback Walsh feeding the scrum for Thirroul. The referee's just called that one back. So Walsh will have a second attempt of putting that ball down in the tunnel. Walsh feeds it. Hayden Crosland coming in off the picket swing for a hit up. Crosland trying to shrug off a few of the Helensburgh defence. He's brought down. Looks like Jack Eager onto the paddock for Thirroul. So Eager in at dummy half, giving Jai Richards a bit of a rest. Eager, he was one of those players that Costello looked last year. And here we see Dodge into open space. And Luke Dodge was a flashback from last season at Gibson Park with Dodge found a little bit of open space. And Dodgy, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He was looking to flick that pass out. Might have been raked out from the Helensburgh defence. We were just talking about Jack Eager earlier. Coach Costello looked to use him at number 7 a few times in season 2017. He's found himself at dummy half for this trial or pre-season game of the VB Challenge Cup, and Thirroul on the left swing. That's a great short ball there onto Tommy Simpson, and he'll crash over for his second try of the day. And good ball movement there on the left-hand fringe from Thirroul, resulting in Tommy Simpson hitting a great hole and crashing over in front of the Helensburgh faithful, looking over the balcony, throwing back a few cans up there. A very quiet bar up there in the southern end of the Helensburgh ground as Tom Simpson crashes overs for his second. So Thirroul out to a 12-0 lead. And Jake Walsh will attempt to add the extra 2 points. So Helensburgh, they were looking good moments ago at the opposite end of the field, really peppering the Thirroul line. But Thirroul with some good metres up through the middle. Nice little shift play to the left, through the hands, and Tom Simpson running a great hole. Walsh stepping in to convert the Simpson try. So with 8 minutes remaining, the score 12-0 as we see Walsh. And Walsh has hit the upright, so the Thirroul kickers are none from 3 so far today. Corey Tullock missed the first 2, and Jake Walsh just off the boot, a little bit wayward, hitting the upright. And it looks like that upright's still wobbling, so there's a bit of pepper off the boot there from Walsh. Helensburgh back to the halfway line to kick off again, back to Thirroul. 12-0 to the visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, over the Helensburgh Tigers. Just over 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And a nice kick there from the Berg, and Jack Eager just couldn't take that. And it's gone in between his legs. So a little lucky there from Eager. Thirroul working out of their own area, wrapped up 15 metres out from the try line. The Helensburgh defence will be looking to get up early on the Thirroul attack. Thirroul wrapped up 40 metres out from their own line. The cry of kicker there from the Helensburgh faithful. Corey Tullock with a good kick, and a good kick chase here led by Tullock, Eager, and also Morris. There's Hayden Crosland in on the action. So nowhere to go there for Bremner as the Thirroul defence up on Bremner. So the line speed from Thirroul being good. Warren onto the 17 in Ayres. Ayres punching that right hand fringe again. Back to the open side. Here's the winger coming in, Adam Newey, for a bit of a hand to help out his forwards. The wingers will need to get busy in this tail end of this game, help out their forwards. It is a hot day here at Rex Jackson Oval. Chong Sung just puts that one onto the boot, and Hayden Crosland just lets that one go over the sideline. Thirroul, they'll get the feed 30 metres out. So we see big Luke Shields back onto the field for Thirroul. Walsh to feed the scrum. Eager at the base of the scrum. On to Perkins. Perkins, a little bit of dancing at the line. He's trying to crack the Helensburgh defence. He's just come up with a fumble there. So Perkins trying to needle his way through a couple of the Helensburgh players there, and has resulted in him in just losing the ball. So another scrum will be packed. Right on the halfway line. Helensburgh will feed the ball. 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Onto the open side. There's Stanley. Stanley met strongly in defence by Luke Dodge. Helensburgh worked the left-hand side again through Stanley, and Stanley, he's just wrapped up there by Shields. Warren at dummy half. He's onto the 15 in O'Toole. And O'Toole earning a penalty for his side with a bit of a high shot there from Luke Shields. And I'm sure Coach Costello will be trying to get that out of Shields' game if he's going to play lots of minutes here in season 2018 in first grade. So Helensburgh with a very big opportunity here to put points on the board for the first time today for them. Chong Sung, he goes to the open with a wide pass out to O'Toole. O'Toole wrapped up, 15 metres out from the Thirroul try line. Warren in at dummy half. Bit of an out the back play there from Helensburgh with Thirroul defence up to the task, shutting down the play. Helensburgh using a decoy runner in that play. Onto the right, Peachy. Peachy trying to shrug off the Thirroul defence, but he's brought down metres from the try line. Helensburgh out the Chong Sung. Puts it onto a boot, looking for Bremner. Bremner is so quick. And Bremner trying to chase that ball. It looked like a bit of a obstruction there from the Thirroul player, just trying to stop Bremner. They know how dangerous Bremner is. A lot of plea here from the Helensburgh faithful. Bremner was held back. But a good kick there from Chong Sung. Looking for Wayne Bremner. And Thirroul just mopping that up. Ty McCarthy walking back to take another drop out. So Ty just soaking up a couple of valuable seconds. The referee blows the whistle. McCarthy about to take the drop out. A little bit off the side of the boot there by Ty. Chong Sung's gathered that on the fly. He'll be looking for a forward to take a hit up off him, but he's met very strongly there in defence there from Thirroul. So I do apologise for a couple of these players are playing out of position, out of numbers today. We'll put that to the Helensburgh manager, Jay Townsend, to pick his game up for round 2 of the Challenge Cup. The Berg brought down 5 metres out from the Thirroul try line. Warren in at dummy half, onto Chong Sung. What's he got here? Show, go, dummy, goes himself. And Walsh up to the task and shuts down Chong Sung. Last tackle, they're looking to go the short side. Bremner onto the boot, and well read by Hayden Crosland. And Crosland just bringing that out from his own goal line. Very well read there from Hayden Crosland. Helensburgh defence up on the Thirroul attack, trying to really D up here. As the seconds tick down in the last minute of this third quarter, here's Perkins coming off his wing. Help out. Tatahu in at dummy half. He'll look for a scoot. He does so. Picks up a cheap 5 metres there. Jack Eager at dummy half. Tatahu just coming off the mark. So the referee really pinning down on that in this game with a few of callbacks from both sides to take the ball back to where they've been tackled on. So 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter. What have Thirroul got in these dying stages of the quarter? As Big Moose, Lukey Shields takes a hit up, and he's met strongly there from Liam O'Toole. It's a good kick there from Tulloch, and Tulloch just splitting the fullback and the winger. And Simpson with a very strong chase with Tulloch. And he's met solidly in defence there. So the Thirroul kick chase, very good there. Equal to the task was the Helensburgh player, bringing that out from his own area. That was the number 2, Jake Kingham. So at 3/4 time, the visiting side, Thirroul Butchers, lead the Helensburgh Tigers 12 points to 0. We'll see you back shortly for the last quarter. He was watching on his phone, he had it. Welcome back for the last quarter of the VB Cup Challenge between the Helensburgh Tigers and Thirroul Butchers. Thirroul, the visiting side, leading the Helensburgh Tigers 12 points to 0 as Helensburgh kick off to Thirroul and Thirroul working it out of their own area. As we see big Luke Shields taking another strong hit up onto the 30-metre line. And that last quarter we've seen a lot better play there from the Helensburgh team, starting to get their combinations and connections right there, looking a lot more dangerous in that third quarter. They could have possibly crossed the stripe there a few times. As we see Shields taking another hit up, Thirroul onto the short side, Tatua, bit of a dance to the line. He shrugged off the first, shrugged off the second, into open space, a nice left foot step there onto Simpson. Simpson's wrapped up by O'Toole, 12 metres out from the Helensburgh try line, last tackle. Walsh onto the boot, look at a wayward kick. There's Higgins trying to tap it on, looking for a bounce as Crosland. Crosland flicks it back inside, onto Lee Higgins. Higgins flicks it back inside, but the second flick pass there's just gone forward. A little bit of razzle-dazzle there from Thirroul. So Helensburgh, they'll play the ball 10 metres out from their own try line. As I was just saying earlier, that third quarter was a lot better there from the Helensburgh Tigers. A couple of plays in that third quarter could have resulted in a try. They are deserving of a try. As Thirroul muscle up in defence here with Shields. There's Tommy Simpson wrapping up the Helensburgh players. A good scoot out of dummy half. Bit of crossfield crabbing there from Bremner. Bremner's wrapped up. There's Jake Kingham into dummy half. Chong Sung onto the boot and he'll find touch. Give his players a little bit of a rest. So Thirroul, they'll feed another scrum. So Jake Walsh, plenty of practice here feeding this scrum today. As both sides just walking back nice and slowly to pack this scrum. Walsh to feed the scrum. It's just been pulled up again, not putting the ball down the middle of the tunnel. We see a second attempt, that's better. Wasn't pulled back that time from the referee. So Thirroul player wrapped up 40 metres out from his own try line and earned a penalty. That was Higgins. So again, a silly penalty there from the Helensburgh player, just giving away a penalty kick, and a good kick there. Great touch finder there. That's landed 20 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. So Eager onto Walsh. Walsh short ball onto Moose. That's Luke Shields. So Shields wrapped up 11 metres out, centre of the paddock. There's the 14, Riley Lord, just taking another strong hit up. Coach Costello opting for him to play the last quarter. Eager in at dummy half. There's Tullock with the ball. Tullock onto Walsh. Walsh has got McCarthy at the back, but he'll opt to go the short ball to Dodge. And Dodge is trying to bustle his way through the Helensburgh defence. We see a Helensburgh player just in behind the ruck there, injured. And the referee's picked it up and just called time off here for a moment while the trainer attends to the Helensburgh player. I'm not sure who it is at the present moment. Looks like clutching at the right shoulder. Let's just hope it's nothing too seriously. As the last thing that anyone wants to see is a serious injury at any time, but let alone in the first game of the season. Hasn't been much movement there as we see the Thirroul players just setting their back line. It looks like a couple of block plays coming up. And the Helensburgh defence just reading it, spreading out along the try line. It looks like Looks like Chong Sung just receiving a little bit of attention, and by the look of the trainer, he's no good. So it looks like Chong Sung will leave the field. Be fresh legs onto the paddock. So Chong Sung just not risking it and coming off. It's good to see he's up and moving. A little bit of movement in that shoulder. Let's just hope it's not anything serious. So Dodge will play the ball, eager in at dummy half, onto Walsh. Walsh will go out the back to Tulloch. Tulloch will go short to Simpson. Simpson looking for his third try of today. So Simpson's wrapped up 5 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Walsh onto Shields. Shields trying to bustle his way over the line. He's wrapped up round the legs by Coleman. Eager in at dummy half. Last tackle, Walsh. Walsh will dummy go himself. Try and shrug her off Peachy, but Peachy up onto Walsh. Walsh flicks it out the back, and it's just been called back there from the referee. So good defence there from Helensburgh. Peachy read that play well, up on Walsh, and shut down the attack off Thirroul. So Bremner about to play the ball, 8 metres out from his own try line. So Helensburgh working the right-hand side through O'Toole. O'Toole with the 15 on his back, been quite busy in this game. Back to the open side. There's Coleman again. So Coleman, super busy Coleman today. There's Warren, picks up Bremner on the inside. Bremner always sniffing around the ruck, looking for the tired forwards. There's Luke Shields wrapping up Bremner around the leg. Jack Eager over the top. Warren in at dummy half. Only sees one marker, shows and goes. Picks up a good 12 metres there, does Warren. So Peachy in at dummy half, pushing off the blue and white jumper in front of him. There's O'Toole coming on the inside. So on the last tackle, O'Toole will play the ball. Warren in at dummy half. Go the short side, Warren dummies. Kicks it himself. Splits both McCarthy and Perkins. McCarthy comes up with the ball. McCarthy will play the ball 30 metres out. Perkins coming in off his wing, help out his forwards. He's had a great game, Perkins. He's had some good chances down that left-hand side. And he's came in numerous times to help out his forwards and had some great scoots out of dummy half. There's Walsh, a short ball onto Dodge. Dodge pulled up millimetres from the halfway line. Eager in at dummy half. Flat ball onto Morris. Morris shows and goes, finds a gap. Morris is looking for help. Puts it on the boot and it's a big left foot kick. Will it sit up? No, it's gone over the sideline in the in-goal line. So Morris found a bit of open space. I'm not sure he knew what to do once he found that open space. He seen Bremner in front of him, decided to put it on the boot, and I'm sure if he had his time over again, he'd just put it under the wing. Sorry, that wasn't Morris. That was the number 3 in Higgins. My mistake. Peachy onto Coleman. Good metres there from Coleman, met strongly in defence. Jai Richards back on the field. Bremner out of dummy half, just shrugs off Richards. I'm sure Richards will want to go low next time on Bremner. Helensburgh earning a penalty there. Bremner just showing his skill and ability there. Picking out the marker offside. Helensburgh back to the open. There's O'Toole. O'Toole who'll be wrapped up centre of the paddock, 20 metres out. Helensburgh to the right through Coleman. Coleman's brought up 15 metres shy of the line. Warren in at dummy half. Warren onto Peachy. Peachy dummy, go himself, looking to barge over. Can he earn his side their first try? Flicks it onto Warren. And Warren's just being held up, so a great play there by Helensburgh, and in particular, Peachy starting to look quite dangerous with that ball in hand. So one of the Thirroul players just a little bit gingerly there in the background trying to get up. He's getting the attention of the two trainers. So a little bit of liquid there. For the Thirroul player, just going back, so he'll come off, earn himself a rest. And it looks like Aaron Beath will come onto the field. And there it is, the 13. Aaron Beath back onto the field to play this last quarter. Peachy will play the ball 10 metres out from the Thirroul try line. So Helensburgh onto the boot. So the kick's just gone nowhere there. Dodgers picked the ball up. It looked like Higgins in open space, and Higgins has been brought down. So a little bit of a bad option there from the Helensburgh centre, putting it onto the boot where he had put it through the hands. So he took the wrong option there, resulting in Thirroul regaining the ball. And a solid shot there from Peachy. That was on Harrison Domio, and a big shot there. Another good shot there from the Helensburgh defence. On the Thirroul player, who'll play the ball on the halfway line. That was Riley Mills seeking the attention of the Helensburgh defence. Thirroul on the 40-metre line. Richards in at dummy half. Onto Tulloch. Tulloch onto Simpson, and Simpson just shrugging off the Helensburgh defence. He'll be brought down 22 metres out from the Berg line. Richards in at dummy half. There's Beef on the field with the ball in hand. Onto Walsh. Walsh with a great short ball onto Riley Mills, and Mills is just brought up 12 metres down. Walsh on the inside to McCarthy. McCarthy trying to cross the stripe. He flicks it out the back onto the Helensburgh, and the Berg, they'll bring it out of their in-goal line into the back into the field of play. That was Bremner, and Walsh just giving away a very silly penalty, pushing Bremner. Helensburgh will kick for touch. A nice little short play there by Walsh, sniffing out McCarthy on his inside. Couldn't put the finishing touches on that play. It's Helensburgh gaining a penalty, bringing it out of their own area now. Through the 5, Adam Newey. So Newey's brought down 30 metres out from his own try line. A little bit of bunching up around the ruck there, the Helensburgh players. It's been a tough contest. The 3 tries scored. First one to Hayden Crosland and 2 to Tom Simpson. I'm sure Gav Lennon and his coaching staff will be looking for Helensburgh just to get some combinations and try and get down into the Thirroul territory and cross that stripe. Bremner with the ball. Bremner dangerous around that ruck as always. Good metres there from Bremner. Last tackle. Short side to Peachy. Peachy with the ball in hand. Puts it onto the 4, puts it onto the feet. At the 19, mopping it up, Harrison Domio. Domio crabbing across field, trying to look for a gap in the Helensburgh defence. But couldn't split the defence of Helensburgh. He's been brought down 10 metres out from his try line. Perkins with the ball in hand. Crabbed across, looking to split the defence. He's been brought down by 3 of the Helensburgh players. And Perkins just has to take the ball back to play it. Come off the mark. Tatahu. Just trying to find open space. Last tackle. And a penalty. Now, Tatahu just trying to get a quick play the ball there. The Helensburgh defence wouldn't allow him to get up, pulling at the boot. So Thirroul gaining another penalty and a kick for touch. Tulloch will find touch. It's a good touch finder from Tulloch into the Helensburgh territory. So on the halfway line, Thirroul with a fresh set of 6 tackles. That's a 16 for Thirroul Lackenstein. Dodge on the short side, puts that ball under his wing and just pumps those legs forward. Wrapped up by Peachy. Richards back to the open. Walsh, dummies, goes out the back to Tulloch. Tulloch, show and go, shrugs off the defence of the Helensburgh players. Tulloch's brought down 8 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. So Thirroul set to the right. Walsh inside to the veteran Aaron Beath, and Beath looking to cross the stripe, but he's met solidly in defence by the Helensburgh players. Richards in at dummy half. Walsh Bit of a wayward pass. He'll find the 19 in Domio. Domio back into his centre. Higgins. Higgins grab a crossfield, looking for a gap. Peachy up to the task and shuts down Higgins. Richards in at dummy half. Last tackle. Richards will go himself. Kick through. Looking for a rebound, and it's offside. So a little bit unlucky there from Helensburgh. Bit of a nice play there from Richards. Looking to split the Helensburgh defence with a cheeky kick, but it's just been deflected off the Helensburgh player, and the 5 for Helensburgh didn't have much option but to grab that ball. So Thirroul gaining a penalty, and they're going to have a kick for goal. So they haven't had much luck with their conversions so far. 0 from 3, the kickers from Thirroul. But if Walsh can slot this one, it will put them more than 2 converted tries in front. So that would have been the thinking from the Thirroul bench. So just over 6 minutes to go. Thirroul lead 12 points to 0. If Walsh can make this conversion, that'll put them 14 points in front and to make the task a lot more difficult for Helensburgh. See Walsh just taking his time for this conversion. So Walsh's last kick did hit the upright. He'll be hoping his radar's a little bit more online for this attempt. So Walsh about to step in. Walsh steps in. And no mistake with this kick. Walsh puts another 2 points on the board for Thirroul. So the visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, 14 points. The Helensburgh Tigers yet to trouble the scorer. So just over 5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter of the VB Challenge Cup, round 1. So we see Helensburgh kicking off. Jack Eager underneath this kick, a nice high kick off. And Joel Ruskin coming off the back fence, taking the return, and Peachy wrapping him up. Domio coming off his wing to help out. Domio just looking to get back up from that tackle and continue running, but he's been brought down. Richards onto Beef. I was about to call him Shields again. They're going to have to, one of them's going to have to change their haircut for this season. There's Tulloch on the left side. Tatahu in a bit of space. Gets round his winger. Shrugs him off. Founds open space. Flicks it into Perkins. Perkins with the ball. Looked to pass it to Tulloch, but took the right option and kept it. But he's been pushed over into touch, Tulloch. So good covering defence there from the Helensburgh players. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. And some great cover defence there from Helensburgh, resulting in Tulloch getting pushed over the sideline, but good ball movement from Thirroul on that left-hand side. They had a lot of success last year on that left-hand side. So he's met strongly there, the Helensburgh player in defence. Dodge with his socks pulled down. Earns his side a mistake. So Dodge with a good front-on shot there on the Helensburgh player. Rattled him a little bit and coughed the ball up. So Walsh, he'll feed another scrum. 30 metres out centre of the paddock. See Peachy just coming out of the scrum into the defensive line. Thirroul going the short side. McCarthy calling the ball onto Tatua. Tatua, a bit of footwork at the line. The Helensburgh defence up to the task. He's brought down 22 metres out. Perkins in at dummy half. Tulloch onto Simpson. Simpson brought down 15 metres out from the Helensburgh try line. Richards onto Beef. Beef dummies to Ruskin and goes himself. So O'Toole over the top there with Warren in defence. Richards, centre of the paddock. Out to Walsh. Walsh on to Tulloch. Tulloch just was looking to give it on to Tommy Simpson, but it looked like Simpson just overrun that play. So Tulloch, he's brought down. Richards in at dummy half. Out the back to Walsh. Walsh picks up Beef underneath him. And Beef looking to cross the stripe, but he's wrapped up by 4 orange jumpers. So centre of the paddock, last tackle. Richards in at dummy half. That's a great stretch out try there. That looks like the number 18, fourth Thirroul. Riley Mills just stretched out there and slammed that ball down. Thirroul, they'll extend their lead. 18 points to 0. With just over a minute to go. So a good line there from Mills. It was the last tackle. I was certain Richards was going to go out the back to one of his halves to put a kick, but he's taken the good option there and found the chest of Mills, and Mills has barged over and put that big long arm out and crossed the stripe here at the southern end of Rex Jackson Oval to extend Thirroul's lead to 18 points to 0 as we see the clock wind down in the last minute. A lot of good signs there for Helensburgh throughout this round 1 of the VB Challenge Cup. They'll take a lot out of this game, and the Thirroul Butchers, a good solid win. I'm sure Coach Costello will be happy with the result. Ty McCarthy looks to add the 2. So McCarthy sums up this kick. He steps in and puts this one over the crossbar, over the black dot. So Thirroul Butchers extend their lead. Try converted by Ty McCarthy. As we see the final seconds wind down in this round 1 clash of the VB Challenge Cup. And that's full time here at Rex Jackson Oval. The visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, win 20 points to 0 over the Helensburgh Tigers in a great game. Thank you very much for watching this on Bar TV Sports. This is Johnny Pett. We'll see you again next week somewhere in the Illawarra for the Bar TV Sports. Thank you.